Hi all, so this is a short video to help you brainstorm the next step of the memory game. So what I have here is a representation of a two-dimensional array of strings called board. And so these are, this is very similar to what you've already written, which is a little program that will create a two-dimensional array and fill it with the same word, right? But remember, string is a class in Java. So it's just like any other class, right? So you could fill your array with any objects of any class. So since the string class doesn't have all the functionality we need, because here's the thing that it's missing. Say these two cells represent words that are the same, that we flipped over and matched. And whenever we print this out, those two should be showing because we already found that pair, but everything else should be hidden. Well, the string class doesn't have some functionality in it that says I've been found, right? I should be flipped over. It doesn't have that. So we need to make our own class that it, in a way, kind of extends the string class, adds some functionality to it, right? So here I've made a little representation of a card class, an object of class card. And this has two fields. It could have more. It has a field, a Boolean field, which I've called showing, which would say, basically, if it's true, this card should be showing. If it's false, this card should not be showing. And a field for the word, the symbol that's stored in that field. So as you go through and print the two-dimensional array, the objects in each cell, you would check this field and say, hey, if that's true, then print this one, else print some placeholder value. And then the person would get their next chance to make a choice on which cards to flip over, so to speak. So how would your code check to see what the value of this field is? You'd have a method in this class. So an accessor method would return the value of that field. So as inside of your nested loops, you'd be looking in this object, asking this accessor method of this object, hey, what's your value? And depending upon what it returns, you would print it or not, okay? So here's a representation of what this would look like. Oops. Right, here we have a two-dimensional array of type card. This is the card class, or an object of the card class, right? And so when you're processing this array, you'd be going through and you'd be calling the method which would access this field and print out this string depending on what is in that field, right? If it's true there, then you'd print it, else you would print the placeholder. Right? You just go across and you do that with all of these. And that's pretty much it. So just, you have to start thinking creatively now as you're programming. And that's good because it's more interesting. So you could put objects of any complexity in these cells, right? Arrays, array lists, two-dimensional arrays, two-dimensional array lists can all hold objects of any type, including objects that you create that have special functionality. Okay, so that's it for this. Your next step should be really creating a card class and making it work with your existing two-dimensional array code. Okay, thanks.